The BIS just announced something very, very big regarding a project going all the way back to 2021. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we go back to August of 2021, we have breaking news. The Bank for International Settlements has launched Project Nexus, which aims to build a global retail payments network on top of existing instant payment systems operated by central banks, targeting cross-border payments in 60 seconds, heating up. Now, what was very interesting during this time is you saw the headlines, especially if you were an XRP holder, because what they said was the BIS is replacing XRP. That was the big narrative during that time. And now, as we really go back to this and look at it today, it's very interesting. Let's be honest, it's very easy to take positions in crypto, but it's extremely hard to actually have a game plan in place when the time comes to take profits. And that's exactly why I released a completely free exit plan that you can apply to literally every single position that you take in crypto. And the best part about it is that it's completely free. All you have to do to get access is go to the link down in the description below and claim your access now. What are you waiting for? Capture those profits. And the reason why it's very interesting is because we know that the BIS has been calling for public and private collaboration to build out specific things regarding these projects. And we know that the BIS is working with Ripple regarding the CPMI group around cross-border payments. So things are definitely getting very interesting, but let's go over here to BIS Project Nexus and let's watch this video clip. It's about 2 minutes long. This is from Digital Asset Investor. Hopefully they don't mute this because I know YouTube has been muting a lot of video clips lately. So I do apologize if this section is muted.
So, here at the BIS Innovation Hub in Singapore, we're exploring other options. One possibility is to link the successful fast payment systems that many countries use today for domestic payments. In fact, Singapore and Thailand are already connecting their fast payment systems, making money transfers happen within seconds. The European Central Bank and the Swedish Riksbank are also exploring ways they can achieve instant payments between euros and kronas. It's a positive step forward, but linking countries one by one can quickly become a challenge. 2 countries need just 1 link, but 4 countries need 6 links, and 20 countries need 190 links. This gets complicated and expensive. That's why the BIS Innovation Hub is developing a blueprint for a fast, cross-border payments platform. We call it Nexus for short. Nexus does 2 things. First, it connects multiple fast payment systems in different countries, thereby allowing them to speak to each other through standardized, data-rich payment messages. Second, it coordinates currency exchange between financial institutions. That means the existing domestic fast payment systems could start to provide equally fast cross-border payments, all without the sender's bank or the fast payment system having to touch another currency. Nexus is a blueprint to connect the multiple fast payment systems that exist today. We're working with the Monetary Authority of Singapore and other central banks to ensure that technology on the horizon will make it easier than ever for both businesses and individuals to send money across borders.
So there you guys have it. And again, as we look at these projects, it's very interesting because for the longest time, what we heard was, all right, the BIS is replacing XRP. And then you watch these videos and you listen to the breakdown, and obviously, listen, we could be very biased. If you hold XRP, you could be very biased, and you could look at anything and say, oh, hey, look, it sounds just like XRP. But when you watch some of these video clips, and they're talking about the bridge currency and this currency exchange, it does read, look, and even sound almost identical to the XRP use case. Now, if we go over here, this is recently, going back to August of 2023, the BIS Project Nexus plus Project Icebreaker. This is from Anderson. How it fits, in my opinion, connect domestic instant payment systems around the world with a bridge asset. And here we have breaking new paths in cross-border retail CBDC payments. This is Project Icebreaker for you guys that don't know. Then, of course, we have Federal Reserve announces that its new system for instant payments. The Icebreaker system implements the use of bridge currencies if transactions between two specific end currencies are unavailable or not favorable, promoting competition among foreign exchange providers. Again, this is all regarding Icebreaker. And then down on the bottom, we have Nexus enabling instant cross-border payments. We have Project Icebreaker drew many lessons from Project Nexus Singapore Center, which has developed a hub and spoke model to connect domestic fast payment systems of different jurisdictions at scale. Then we also have down here, David Schwartz explains why bridging CBDCs with XRP is not enough and why you need to bridge domestic instant payment systems to really transform international payments. Nexus plus Icebreaker. And here we have CBDCs won't solve the last mile problem that has been modernizing international payments so difficult, or making modernizing international payments so difficult. So yeah, I mean, as we really look at this, yeah, this is how XRP could fit that model, or what Ripple is doing with Ripple payments could fit that model. Now over here, we know, like I said, that Ripple did join the BIS task force for cross-border payments. Over here, we have the full-on announcement that happened today, July 1st, regarding Project Nexus. Like I said, the timeline is very interesting. And also remember that Mika just started to roll out. And the reason why I say that, well, we're going to come back to that. But here we have the BIS Innovation Hub and partners have completed phase 3 of Project Nexus, developing a comprehensive blueprint for connecting domestic instant payment systems globally as they prepare for work towards live implementation. Now, one thing that I want to take from this is for everyone out there that is saying like, oh, these things are taking so long, like we should have expected some price action, this, there, whatever. I want you guys to understand that as we really look at the major price action, the price driver is going to be implementation of these technologies. It's going to take some time. Project Nexus did get announced August of 2021. We're talking about roughly almost 3 years later, and now they're completing this comprehensive blueprint for connecting domestic instant payment systems. So it took 3 years for this. Now, if we look at this, we can see a slight breakdown. Nexus is a BIS Innovation Hub project that seeks to enhance cross-border payments by connecting multiple domestic instant payment systems. It is the first BIS Innovation Hub project in the payments area to move towards live implementation. The BIS to play advisory role as Project Nexus sets up operational scheme and opens to potential new participants across the globe. The BIS will facilitate central banks and IPS operators of India, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand as they work towards live implementation in the next phase, with the Bank of Indonesia as special observer. So very interesting. Now, again, as we really look at a lot of these major areas that are a part of this, it really kind of takes me back to some of the connections with Ripple, which we will get to. But here we have a quote from the general manager of the BIS. I wish our partners in Nexus every success as they advance the project from concept to reality. This is the first BIS Innovation Hub project that central banks are moving towards a live phase together with instant payment providers. When implemented, it will greatly enhance cross-border payments in line with both the G20 cross-border payments program and our mission to develop public goods in the technology space to support central banks and improve the functioning of the financial system. Even with just the first wave of connected countries, Nexus has the potential to connect a market of 1.7 billion people globally, allowing them to make instant payments to each other easily and cheaply. 1.7 billion people, significant to say the least. But beyond this, let's go and look at some of the connections to this. So back in March, we heard, and this goes back to 2023, the BIS's Project Nexus prototype successfully links Euro system, Malaysia, Singapore payment systems, partners in Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand to work towards wider payment connectivity. So we do know that Mika is starting to roll out. So it's very interesting that this is connected to the Euro system. And now we're starting to see these big announcements that, oh, hey, look it, we're now starting to roll this fully out and be implemented. Very interesting. But regardless, let's talk about some of these connections, because I do think that Ripple could play a role in this. And the reason why I say that is because if we go back to Anderson's viewpoint here, yeah, this is a very direct quote from the CTO of Ripple talking about how we need to bridge domestic instant payment systems. And the best way to do that is, well, through Ripple with XRP. But also the fact that the BIS is working with Ripple for the cross-border payments task force. And remember what this is around. This is regarding the G20. Their goals to enhance cross-border payments. Even within this, I believe that they're telling us that this is all a part of the G20 roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments, as you guys do see right here. So we have, in developing the blueprint in phase 3 of Nexus, the BIS has fulfilled its role of supporting central banks in finding innovative solutions So they were trying to find innovative solutions to deliver public goods, and one of its key commitments as part of the G20 roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments. So all of this is a part of that. Now, remember what they said in the CPMI group. They want to work with the private and the public sector regarding making cross-border payments more efficient. And by the way, this is also a part of the ISO 20022 movement as well. This is very, very interesting. Now, let's talk about those connections. Ripple with Japan and the Philippines back in 2021, on-demand liquidity corridor opens between Japan and the Philippines. Again, the reason why I bring this up is because the Philippines are on here. Then we have New Malaysia, Bangladesh remittance corridor back in 2021. Again, when we go back to that, we could see Malaysia right here. Then we have Thailand. Again, Ripple has a lot of connections to Thailand, even with CM Commercial Bank. Also, Thai remittance platform starts processing Ripple payments. This goes back to 2020. Very significant. Then also, Union Bank, Ripple partner Union Bank becomes the first Philippine bank to receive full VASP license. Then, of course, if we talk about Vietnam, Indonesia, and even the Philippines, SBI expands Ripple remittances tech to the banks in Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines. This goes back to September of 2023. And last but not least, of course, with the MAS, Singapore. That's a big one as well. They got a full license to operate in Singapore. Now, again, are these, 100% certainty that Ripple will be chosen? No, but these are just some of the areas that Ripple has some, dominance in. They've made noise in these areas. They have partners in these areas that can vouch for them if that is the case. But it just speaks to the fact that Ripple continues to evolve, continues to expand and become a big name in the payment space. So as we look at a lot of these payment projects like Project Nexus, or even if we go back to some of their recent projects from the BIS, which I've talked about in recent videos like Agora, there's a ton of them. I think Meridian as well. That's another great project. Then we also look at, Project Rosalind with Quant. We can clearly see that the big winners are starting to be chosen. And even if you go back to the original view on Project Nexus, the whole breakdown of this and everything around this speaks volumes on where we're headed technology-wise. We know that new technologies are going to be tapped in. And this is all around getting us to the G20's goal. And we know that the G20 is the big focus from the CPMI group. I'm not saying that Ripple and XRP are 100% guaranteed to be a part of this project. I'm just saying that if we really look into some of these projects and we kind of tie it back to names like Ripple and XRP that we know for the longest time have been focused on making cross-border payments extremely efficient, it makes sense for them to be tied into this. And we also know that the BIS has specifically outlined, I don't even think that they mentioned this over here, but they've specifically mentioned that they need to cooperate with public and private sectors. Even here, we have the BIS said that improvements to payment systems, so specifically the improvements to payment systems, require global coordination and cooperation between stakeholders in both public and private sectors. That cooperation, that collaboration is so crucial, especially when you look at who the names on the CPMI really are. You have MasterCard, Swift, you have Ripple, you have big players on that list that are massive payment giants. We're starting to see the big winners being picked by these elite organizations like the BIS. That is the central bank of central banks. This is the big, this is the big organization that you want to focus on when we're talking about the evolution of our global financial system. So as we really think about this and as we really look at what's happening here, what's the percentage that we could say that Ripple will probably be a part of this? Is it 60-40? Is it 40-60? I'll let all of you out there really kind of say for certain if it's 60-40, 40-60, or possibly even more. What do you guys think about this? Do you think Ripple is a part of Project Nexus? In my opinion, it would make sense for them to be a part of this, especially concerning the CPMI and the connections back to this. That's why I go back to 2021 when we heard that, the BIS is replacing Ripple and XRP because of this project. And now we know that the BIS is working with Ripple and XRP. So it's very interesting. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.